What's the latest on the Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee Valley real estate market? There are lots of news stories lately talking about a national slowdown in housing sales and listings getting stale, but real estate is local and no two markets are the same, so let's see what's going on here in the Temecula Valley. Hi, I'm Jessica with the Genung team and Real Broker. Thank you as always for checking out our channel. If you want to stay up to date on the latest of what's happening in the Temecula Valley real estate market, we would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. There are lots of national news stories about homes sitting on the market, such as this recent Redfin article that we're going to look at now. More than 3 in 5, or 61.9% of homes that were on the market in May had been listed for at least 30 days without going under contract. That's up from 60% 1 year earlier and roughly 50% from 2 years earlier. We've looked at the local data and we are faring better than these national stats. For the 3 cities that we analyze every month, which are Menifee, Murrieta, and Temecula, the percentage of listings on the market for at least 30 days without going under contract is 49%, 48%, and 50% respectively. So homes are moving quicker here in our area. Back to the article. Redfin agents report that move-in ready homes in desirable neighborhoods are still selling quickly, but listings that don't fit that bill are starting to pile up in some parts of the country. This is typical of a normal real estate market, which we have not had in the past few years. We are used to everything selling. Since COVID, the only reasons a listing would be sitting is if it was majorly overpriced, and you almost couldn't overprice a listing in the previous market. Almost. Same as the Redfin article is reporting, beautiful homes in good neighborhoods with lots of desirable features are still flying off the shelf, and we are still seeing multiple offers and homes selling over the asking price. I've noticed it's especially challenging right now in the upper price range for clients wanting top Temecula and Murrieta neighborhoods, like with pools and views. We have some Genung team clients that are in the $1 million plus range right now, and we have had some stiff competition that we've been up against, even with these very well qualified buyers and even in this higher price range. Last month, we had across the board price declines, and it put me on notice to keep an eye out for the start of a correction. As of this month, no correction is happening. The housing market is slugging along, albeit a little painfully. I will say our personal resale business is quite slow, with most of our transactions right now being helping clients buy new construction homes. When I'm at these new construction communities talking with the sales reps, I'm always trying to take their temperature on sales activity, and all is good in that sector from what I hear. Let's take a look at the resale stats. Stay tuned until the last set of slides in my presentation, because I'm including a new stat this month, which is new listings. New listings are really down and what I consider plummeting according to some of the stats. So why is this important and notable? Because it's our supply. While the number of closed homes selling in the valley are down, number of new listings are down even more, which means our supply may be headed even lower. And when supply is low, typically prices tend to increase, which is still happening in our area overall. As always, we are only analyzing single-family homes for simplicity, starting with median sales price. Median sales price is holding steady in Temecula and had the biggest increase, bouncing up to the all-time high of $800,000 for a single-family home. It's currently over $100,000 more expensive to buy a home in Temecula versus Murrieta. Temecula is always a little bit more expensive than Murrieta, but it normally hangs out in the $40,000 to $60,000 more expensive. So this is a little bit of news, it being $100,000 more expensive to buy a home in Temecula versus Murrieta. It's also about $100,000 more expensive to buy a home in Menifee versus Murrieta, so Murrieta being $100,000 more, and that's typical. So we'll get into median sales price. We've had a slight increase in Menifee, 0.3% month over month, so a little over $1,500 month over month. So that's fairly flat on median sales price, small gain. Year over year, you are looking at a gain in Menifee of 2%. Moving on to Murrieta. Murrieta is quite flat as well. It's kind of doing the opposite of Menifee. It's down $1,500 or 0.2%. So not a whole lot of news there, pretty flat. Year over year, you have gained about 17,500 is the median equity gain in Murrieta, or 2.6%. Moving on to Temecula. So Temecula had that huge bounce up. And if you will look at the bar chart here, you'll see the red bar graph. Starting in March, from February to March, we had a huge increase. That's when it first went to that 800,000 mark, which I believe is an all-time high for Temecula. And then as you can see, as it continues March, April to May, we had that several month decline. So that's why I was on the lookout for a possible correction, because we had 3 months of declining. Well, actually, sorry. So from March to April and April to May, we had 2 months of declining. But like I said, 1-2 months, it doesn't make a trend, because now here we are in June and it's bounced back up to 800,000. So I do anticipate, as we get the July numbers and the August numbers, I think that price will settle back down a little bit below 800,000. I'm thinking, because we had such a big bounce up. But month over month, June stats are up 5.1%, or 39,000 increase month over month. And Temecula has the largest gain of median sales price of the 3 cities, which is 7.3%, or you've gained 54,500 year over year in Temecula. But month over month, June stats are up 5.1%, or 39,000 increase month over month. And Temecula has the largest gain of median sales price of the 3 cities, which is 7.3%, or you've gained 54,500 year over year in Temecula. Moving on to closed sales, starting with Menifee. Closed sales are just down, down, down. So, and seasonally, we would start to see, May, as we get into June and July, closed sales should come down a little bit, but I would say that this is a little bit more than normal. So let's see, month over month in Menifee, you have a 26.2% decline, or 44 fewer closed sales, and then year over year you have a 12.7% decline. Moving on to Murrieta, it's declining as well, although not as much. Month over month there is a 3.9% decline in number of closed sales, and year over year you have a 0.8% decline. So fairly flat year over year, but just one home. Closed sales in Temecula month over month is down 10.1%, or 12 homes, and year over year it's down 22.5%, or 31 homes, so that percentage-wise is pretty sizable. Moving on to Menifee, median days on market. How quick are homes flying off the shelf? Well, they are still on the median, flying off the shelf quite quickly. Month over month, you have a decline of 1 day. So from 16 days in May to sell a home to 15 days in June to sell a home. So that's fairly flat. All of the median days on market, it's kind of a nothing burger. There's just not a lot of movement going on here. Year over year in Menifee, it's taking 2 more days to sell a home. Moving on to Murrieta, it is also taking 1 fewer days to sell a home, 11 days in Murrieta. So again, just they're still flying off the shelf, and totally flat year over year, 11 days last June in 2023, and it's still taking 11 days to sell in Murrieta. Temecula, also again, very flat, another nothing burger. It's taking 2 more days to sell a home, May versus June, and it's taking 1 more day year over year to sell a home in Temecula. So no news here. Moving on to number of active listings, and this one is kind of bouncing around a little bit. We have some in the positive, some in the negative. So starting with Menifee, month over month, the number of listings has declined 4.4%, or 14 homes, and year over year the number of listings has increased 35 homes. Active listings in Murrieta, month over month, we have an increase of 0.9%, or 2 homes, so that's fairly flat. And year over year, we have a decrease in the number of active listings of 10 homes. Temecula, month over month, you have an increase in the number of active listings of 9 homes, and year over year, you have a 4.3% increase, or 10 homes. So this is still fairly flat. There's not a huge amount of movement here, and that is also reflected in, we like to pull the data for the number of months of supply, meaning that if no new homes were to come to the market, how long would it take to sell all of these active listings? And in Menifee right now, it's 2.7 2.1 months. In Murrieta, it's 2.4 months. And in Temecula, it's 2.6 months. So they're all very similar. This is still considered a seller's market. And once we get to about, the 4 months or so of supply, that's in my opinion of where it could potentially start changing into more of a buyer's market. So, and this 2.4 to 2.7 months of supply that we're seeing across these 3 cities, that has been pretty consistent over the past few months. So we've been in the 2 to 3 months supply range. So not a whole lot of news going on there. Here is the new stat that we're adding. I don't know if we're going to be doing this in months going forward, but I thought this stat was very interesting for this particular month. We will keep an eye on this one for sure, and we might add it to our slide deck to show you guys in these presentations of the market reports that we do. But so number of new listings plummeting across the board. So I feel like this is not a great sign of inventory to come. Our listings are going in the wrong direction, our new listings, which means that the closings are probably going to continue to go down until something changes. So, number of new listings in Menifee is down month over month 31.8% or 64 homes. Year over year, it's also plummeting 32 homes or 18.9%. New listings in Murrieta is also down 30.4% or 48 homes. And year over year, it's down huge as well, 34.5%. Again, we had low number of new listings a year ago, but now it's even lower. So year over year, the number of fewer listings that we have is 58 in Murrieta. So we are going in the wrong direction, especially as far as buyers are concerned, and just to have a healthy real estate market. Like this anemic inventory is no bueno. All right, so number of new listings in Temecula, month over month, it is down 7.6%. So it's down the least amount in Temecula of these 3 cities. So it's only down 11 homes. So that's not as huge of a decline as these other cities. And year over year, it's down 12.5% or 19 homes. So I would guess that Temecula is the least dramatic of all of these 3, but they have a very similar number, from 110 to 130 in number of new listings throughout these cities. Let us know your thoughts down below in the description. Are you wading into this housing market? Are you holding off and waiting for something to change? And what is it exactly that you're waiting for if you're waiting? Are you waiting for lower interest rates, higher supply? Let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear, and we'll see you next week. Bye.